Hey, it's Todd Duncan. Welcome to our podcast and welcome to the theme of this particular broadcast. And it's all about mindset and it's all about mantra. In fact, I kind of am calling this the magic of mantra. And what I believe is contained within that kind of title is this idea that when you have a positive mantra that embraces who you are and what you want to be, and you have that mantra as something that you say all of the time, whether it's first thing in the morning when you awaken, whether it's before you pick up the phone to make your first sales call of the day, whether it's a conversation that you have to have that might be a hard conversation. Maybe it's sales calls during the day that you have to make, and maybe it's when you have a little bit of a setback, what you say. I believe that what we say to ourselves, we actually live out and we become. And I think that that's why I love this whole idea of positivity, and I love choosing positivity. When I was a 16-year-old for my birthday, my grandmother gave me a book that was entitled Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. And one of the quotes I remember in that book was the quote that W. Clement Stone and Napoleon Hill were talking about. And it was all about there's very little difference between successful people and those that aren't successful. But the little difference makes the big difference. The little difference is attitude. The big difference is whether it's positive or negative. And I believe that when you think about life and you think about business, I think that you would benefit, I would benefit, the world would benefit with a positivity mindset. And what we do say to ourselves gets lived out. I remember that several years ago, Deb was preparing for a speech, and we designed a mantra card that she could look at every single night. And the mantra card went a little bit like this. The card said, "This is your time. You are the person. God's got this. The world needs to hear your voice." And that was her mantra for probably 6 months as she prepared to deliver this speech. And it was super, super, super powerful. It was on our nightstand. It was on her phone. It was it was pinned up over our dream board. It was in our bathroom. And I even remember as a husband that some of the times that Deb was getting down, I would say, "This is your place. This is your time. God's got this. The world needs to hear your voice." And whenever she heard me say that to her, she got inspired and went from just kind of maybe feeling less than super, super fired up, which, by the way, we all have that, right? I mean, truth be told, there is a lot of getting ready to go do what we need to do. And that's really, I guess, the backstory to this podcast is when you're getting ready to do what you got to get ready to go do, what are you saying to yourself? So it was really cool. Just a couple of days ago, I got this email, and this is the power of mindset. I'm just going to read it to you. "Todd, I never believed it could happen until you told me to believe it could happen. I never believed it could happen until you told me believe that it could happen." And this person went on to say, "I just had an appointment with a client who drove 2.5 hours to see me because of a realtor referral." 2.5 hours. And we're sitting here talking mindset. And the mindset in this particular program that I was doing a couple of weeks ago, the mindset was, there's no way. There's no way people would drive that far to meet with you. And I said, if you believe that people won't drive that far to meet with you, they won't drive that far to meet with you. But if your mindset is, I am the person, this is the place, these clients are going to drive 2.5 hours. I'm going to blow their mind. When they get in their car after the meeting, they're both going to look at each other, hug each other, kiss each other, and say, that was the best meeting of our life. I'm so glad we drove this far. That's the mantra. And when you stop and think about, I didn't believe it was possible until you told me to believe it was possible, what we're basically saying is like that Henry Ford quote, right? Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. Whether you believe you can, believe you can't, you're right. So I'm fired up around just this idea of, what do you say to yourself? I think back to tough calls in my life. I think back to hard decisions in my life, and I think back to what this simple paragraph on this email said. And at the very end, the words are, "Until you told me to believe it, I couldn't yet see the value in doing what you taught. But now, not only do I see the value you taught, but I see it more than ever. And I am happier, more confident, and more excited about using this approach forever." And you look at that and you go, I mean, that's what has to happen. Tough situations set you up for greatness if you have the right attitude. And when you wake up and you understand that this is the day, you are the person, this is your place, God's got this, the world deserves to hear my voice today, and I am here to make an impact, your life will change. I'm going to cut to a quick clip from Sales Mastery this year. We were showcasing a couple of people on our panel, Linda Davidson and I, Caitlin Huddleston, and a guy named Travis Craig. This is a little excerpt from Caitlin live at Sales Mastery talking about mantra. Take a look.
You need to know why you're extraordinary and why you stand out from the other people in this room or the other people on your team. Because we all have innate abilities inside of us that make us special. So capitalizing on those strengths and finding a way to shine in your market is really what you need to do. So I made my list of what makes me an awesome mortgage lender and an awesome person. And I kind of created a mantra. And I say it to myself all the time. It's become the first thing I say when I'm about to step into a sales meeting, when I'm about to meet a new realtor, and it has empowered me to go out with confidence and to really believe in myself. So this is my mantra. I'll share it with you, but you should create your own. Caitlin, it is your time to shine. You are meant for greatness. Go own this day. People like you, you are fun, and you can make a difference in the world around you. And that's it.
I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, big round of applause. Yeah.
And when I allowed that truth to become my truth, people were drawn to me. And I started to connect with people in a more real and authentic way. And one of my favorite quotes from your book is that trust in its most simple form is based on authenticity and not flawlessness. You do not have to be perfect to build trust. But if you can find your authentic self and what you bring to the table and deliver that to people, you will be successful.
So when you watch that clip, what you're basically seeing, you're seeing a top producer who equips herself every single day before any high tension, situation, sales call, talking to a customer, recovering from an upset customer, having a sales call that doesn't work out. She is saying the same thing no matter whether it's before or after. And I think the idea behind the magic of the mindset of mantra, the whole mantra idea is, how do I use positivity? How do I use positivity to change my force, my life force? I mean, how do I change my positivity so that my life force changes the trajectory of my life and those I come in touch with? That's really the question. I was meeting with somebody yesterday, and we were talking about the psychology of failure. I've done a lot of TV shows on failure, and we've done a lot with Success Magazine on failure. I've had plenty of my own failures. I know that success in the world is about who can fail and, in spite of that, keep on going, right? And so the idea around failure mantras, the idea of moving mindset from I am a failure to I am a success, is one of the most symbiotic disciplines you arrive at. And when you understand the symbioticness of failure and success, you understand in one quick glimpse that one without the other does not exist. Failure does not exist when you attempt success. Success doesn't happen if you don't know how to deal with failure. When you fail and you have positivity around failure, you succeed. And so this person and I were talking, and she said to me, she said, it's so interesting how many people go through a daily celebration of positivity as a new discipline around thinking negatively. And so I said, what does that look like? And she opens this book on her desk, and I had my guys just do a quick screenshot on it. But instead of this failure thinking or fear thinking, there's 40 things on this page. I'm just going to read like 7 to you. Everything I do has a successful outcome. That's a mantra. Success comes easily to me. That is a mantra. I let go of the need to please others, and I embrace my own success. That is a mantra. With ease and grace, all falls into place. What a great, great positive statement. With ease and with grace, all falls into place. Deb and I say every day, good things happen to us. We say them, 10 times a day. Good things happen to us. We go into a meeting yesterday in the car. Good things are going to happen to us. Good things are going to happen to us. When I am connected and clear, anything is possible. Success is a mindset that I'm aligned with now, in the moment. I'm free from past failures, and I start every project with a clean slate and a hopeful heart. So this mantra thing, you just got to figure out what are the things that I say to myself, and how are those things setting me up for success. And I did a TV show a while back, and every once in a while we need to hear the same thing again. But if you can take what the world sees as fear, and you can layer positivity on top of that fear, and let me just time out for a sec. I'm not talking about positivity just to put something on what you're afraid to do. Because truth be told, if you're afraid to do it, just layering it with positivity doesn't necessarily make it any easier. Fear is real. Doing something for the first time is real. Okay? Making a sales call for the first time is real. Recovering a customer after a breakdown for the first time is real. Handling objections for the first time is real. So behind positivity is preparation. I just want to say that, like I can have all the positivity in the world that my speech that I'm about to deliver is going to be great. But if I walk out in front of a couple thousand people and I don't know what my speech is, all the positivity in the world is not going to make the speech work, right? So whenever you're afraid of something, you have to balance positivity and preparedness. And that's why I'm such a huge believer in practice and the idea that almost anything I'm afraid of becomes less fearful when I get better at it. So there's no downside in this, no downside in this world of positivity. There's no downside in this world of kind of mindset to get good, right? Because then you become more confident. But at the same time, I know that I've made really great sales calls that I didn't quite know how they were going to go, but I stood in the force of positivity. I said a lot of these things to change the direction of my mindset, right? So this podcast, straightforward, man. I would ask you to come up with a mantra by tomorrow morning. I would ask you to rehearse that mantra. I'd ask you to play around with it, cut and paste, change it. Try to load up your mantra with 10 words of positivity. Belief is a positive word. Passion is a positive word. Achievement is a positive word. Confidence is a positive word. Okay, success is a positive word. Change is a positive word. Make a difference are positive words. Just load your mantra up with positivity, kind of work it out, and then go back and watch Caitlin's again and just listen to mine and just, do you have a mantra? If you have a mantra, it'll lead to a positive mindset. If you have a positive mindset, it'll lead to magic. All right? Talk to you next time.